Chad, brother, can you hear me all good?
Morning, Dan. How are you? I can hear you
How
fine.
are
How
you,
about me?
brother? Morning, how you doing, man?
Excellent. Excellent. Good. Yourself?
Very, very well. How's things down there in LA, or up there in LA,
Up
I
there in
should say?
LA. We're good,
You're in
man.
LA, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, I am. Yeah, things are fine, man. It's been this way for a year, so it's
It's
all
not
feeling like
anything
old
new.
hat, you know?
It's just the norm now, isn't it?
It's just it's the new normal, man, for better or worse. So, but things are cool, man. The vaccines are flying around, things are starting to open up a little bit. So, it's getting back to the before times, slowly but surely, I guess. Let me tweak this backdrop here so it doesn't look so weird.
Why did you go with the blue over the green screen?
I don't know, man. Gotta put it up this way, and there we go. I don't have
Did
anything
you
fancy to put in the background, so I guess I don't really need the green screen for cool pictures and floating head stuff.
did you get that when you started with your Twitch channel?
Yeah, I did. Plus, we're just doing so many, Zoom meetings endlessly. Oh my God, I'm still learning how to rock it, as you can see. It's a process. That'll have to be good enough.
No, all good, man. Don't worry about it. If
Hold
you're
on.
a perfectionist like me, that would do your head in.
I get confused working backwards from the camera. Hold on. I made it worse. I've made it worse. Okay, so we got to do this. All right. I'm gonna make us late. Just tweaking with my damn backdrop here.
No, we're actually live right now, by the way, brother.
Oh, we're
Just so
live
you
right
know.
now. Hey, everyone. How you
Sorry,
doing?
man. Sorry, man. I should have told you earlier.
We're
Oh, far out.
we're
Everyone's loving you anyway, mate.
doing
As per
technical
usual.
difficulties on live. That's all right.
So how you been? How do you go through COVID? Is it something you had to adapt to? Because I guess the audition process would have changed for you, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Things have moved from going in a room, going in person, and reading with casting people or producers, directors, what have you, to just taping at home. Throwing it up on the iPhone and emailing it off. But it was kind of trending that way for a while before the pandemic, so it wasn't really all that extreme that 100% of them got moved that way. I just had a video game callback with a director and stuff, but I had to do that one live, off the webcam. So that was a little bit technically tricky to try and
Yeah.
set
How
that
do you
up.
do that?
Yeah, well, let's just say it wasn't my best work, technically speaking. So, but you manage it, and everybody has a lot of grace on their other end, knowing that actors are just trying to do their best off, PC webcams and stuff like that. So we're getting by. We find a way, right? That's what humans do.
That's it. How many Zoom meetings you reckon you've done now in the last year? Are you sick
Man,
of
oh
that
man.
app?
I mean, it's got to be hitting triple digits. More
Yeah.
importantly, I use Zoom to play my Dungeons and Dragons games. So we've got several hundred hours logged in Zoom Dungeons and Dragons games this year. Most importantly,
How did you get into that? Because I've never actually played it. I think I would get addicted like you. That's what's scaring me at the moment.
I'll tell you what, there's nothing like it. And I've been a fan of D&D my whole life. I grew up reading
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons novels, the Dragonlance novels, all those classic novels back in the day. And I've always been such a nerd for it. But the problem with D&D is you need other people to play it. It's not like a video
Mm.
game. You can just hit power and you're good, right? So luckily in LA, I have a lot of friends that have the same nerdy interests as me. So a couple years ago, we finally all got together. A writer buddy of mine put together a game, and we played. And I've been hooked ever since. So now I run my own games. I play in other games. It's really a lot of fun, man. It's fun to go analog.
How many hours per week would you say?
Man, during the height of the pandemic, I was probably up to 4 or 5 nights a week, probably putting at
Mm.
least 12
And they're 2 to 3 hour games,
hours.
yeah.
Yeah, you run a session for like 3 hours, quite typically. But if you're running a game, you've got hours of preparations to make, in advance of every session. So running the games is a whole different animal.
Hold
So
on.
that's
What do you
why
mean? What are you preparing?
being a dungeon master, Dan, that's what I mean. You got to earn that title. You got to earn that title with endless prep. You got to prepare maps and storylines and hooks and take furious notes and because it's so
Wow.
open ended, right? Like the characters can get up to anything. So you kind of have to get out ahead of it, know the story backwards and forwards so that you can adjust accordingly on what they decide to do, which is the magic of it. So, but it's been a blast.
So you think we should get into it, everyone here in the chat, myself included?
If you haven't gotten into it, you haven't lived. Yeah, that's all I'll say about it.
All right. Well, switching over to Modern Warfare. Wow, what a series to be a part of, man. How did you feel when you finally land that gig? Because speaking to some of the other guys, I know that it's very closed doors at the start. You don't know that it's Call of Duty, do you?
You don't. And before we go further, I'll be just, I know we're live, so I just wanted to say, what's up, everyone? A big good mornings, afternoons, evenings from Echo 3-1 here. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. Yeah, where were we? Yeah,
And
the
make sure you
NBA.
follow Chad on Twitch.
I'm sorry.
Chad Michael Collins, is that your Twitch name?
It is. Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Make sure you follow him, guys. What I was saying was, how did it go about getting the role of Alex?
Yeah. No, you're spot on, man. It is very non-disclosure agreement heavy, and
Oh,
they tell you
yeah.
they tell you very little going into it, and that's by design. Any leaks, you've seen all the gamers out there. They're starving for leaks. They've got videos speculating which character is which, who's going to be in the next one. So I get why
Yeah.
they have to keep it a little bit close to the vest. No, but it was a proper audition for a video game. Had a military theme. I didn't know very much about it. I had
Yeah.
one audition with the director at Infinity Ward of this game, Taylor Kurosaki, and Brian Bloom, the writer. We had a great little 25-minute session auditioning for this role. Still had no idea what the game was.
25 minutes for your first audition.
Yeah.
Is that long? That's pretty long, isn't it?
It's pretty long, but we went on the Mocap stage where we eventually filmed. We were in the studio, Infinity Ward's motion capture stage, and we just played it out. We acted it out. We had all the prop guns and rifles and tables and chairs set up for the various 3 scenes that I went through them with. We had a blast. Brian Bloom, the writer, who's a very accomplished actor and voiceover actor in his own right, he at one point put me in a headlock and kind of dragged me down and sat me in a chair. If you remember the scene from the campaign where I meet Farah for the first time, her guards kind of they drag me in and sit me down, and then I have to basically talk with her and hope they don't kill me. He played the part of the guard dragging me through the room and sitting me down roughly in a chair. So it was a really
That's not
fun.
a typical writer. That's not a
Yeah,
typical writer
exactly
wouldn't do
right.
that, eh?
Brian's nothing to mess with, dude. He's not the guy with the glasses, And
He was actually quite good in, I think it was Infinite Warfare.
yes,
He was the main star, yeah.
yeah, he's an amazing voiceover actor and a super great guy. And
Yeah.
yeah, we had a fun audition, and I didn't hear anything for like 5-6 weeks, and then we got a call, and the job was mine. Still didn't know what it was, but had to do some face scanning down at Activision, and that's when I started to kind of put 2 and 2 together that it would be a Call of Duty game. And Modern Warfare was revealed to us at our first kind of table read, our first gathering of the entire cast. That's when they told us what they were doing with the Modern
Oh,
Warfare.
so you didn't know it was Modern Warfare, you just knew it was Call of Duty.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, and then you see the words Modern Warfare. Wow. It's just...
It was a nice surprise.
Well, I don't know. Did you play the other games? Were you familiar with the franchise at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny enough, the Modern Warfare trilogy was the only Call of Duty games I ever played back in the day. So it was a real treat to hear that this was kind of like a soft reboot of that trilogy that everybody knew and loved, and the only one that I had played in the entire franchise.
VJ Trashy, he says, Chad, we love you. Thanks for stopping by. Rachel says, we appreciate you, Chad. Acrobatic says, I already follow Chad. So plenty of people happy to see you, mate. We'll take
Yeah,
some chat questions later on. I've still got plenty to get through with you.
sure.
Um, I I want to know what it was like on the mocap stage or the performance capture, whatever you call it. Like how did you go about doing that? Because this would have been your first time doing that, yeah?
I had done some video game work here and there, but nothing of this scope.
Hidden agenda, yeah,
Hidden Agenda, which
yeah.
I mean, we shot that whole game in maybe 4 or 5 days total. I worked like three on that, so
That was a
that was
great game.
yeah, it was a pretty speedy process. But yeah, this was my first proper big lead starring role. Um, everything was done on that motion capture stage. The actors, the main cast, Barry playing Captain Price and Elliot Knight playing Gaz, and Claudia Demit played Farah, Aiden Bristow played Hadir.
Oh,
We all shot on that motion capture stage. We focused mostly on the cinematics in the campaign, and there was like
yeah.
19 or 20 of them. The mission intros and outros, when you were actually about to boot off for a mission, you'd have like a little bit of a minute of the character interaction, then you'd kind of morph into the character's shoes, Alex's shoes, and you'd go off. So we shot a lot of those mission intros and outros. I came back and shot some stuff for Warzone when it was revealed that Alex was alive, and
We'll
and
talk about that later.
yeah. So, but that was the focus of what we did. All those dramatic cut scenes, as a cast.
So how many days shooting you think that would have been?
We would typically get called in like once every month and a half, and we'd work a full
See, I
week.
find that strange that you would
Yeah.
have that much of a break from the character. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
well, the crazy thing about video games is, you have to have this amazing team of artists and designers creating the world, right? So you have to build the world first. You have to create this space so that then you can fit the story into the context. So they have
Mm.
the blueprint of the script, but they have to go and build that world, and then we have to step in and add the character life into the world. So they would have to at least crudely render the setting, whether you were flying in on a chopper or you were boots on the ground in Urzikstan or, Piccadilly Circus. They had to create that stuff first before they could call the actors in to navigate that space and work around it and stuff. So that was kind of why there was always those gaps. But when they did call us in, we would have like usually a 4 or 5 day shooting schedule. We'd have a day of rehearsals, and then we'd go into knocking out all the scene work day to day for the rest of that week.
What about the actual script that you get? Do you get just the cutscene script? Because like I remember I saw a video, and it was all your voice lines. I think
Yeah.
20-minute video, and I think you
Right.
commented on it. I think it was your channel, and you're like,
Yes.
I need
Yeah.
a glass of water after that.
No, we never got a full script, and that's pretty typical of video
Wow.
games.
Okay.
Things, as you can imagine, if we were filming for like a year and a half on this, so a lot of stuff changed, got tweaked along the way. Um, we never got a script. We basically just got the overall picture of the story, and we shot it pretty sequentially, which is great. From the opening mission all the way to the end of the campaign. So, we just got those scenes that week, and then we kind of talked them through on our rehearsal days and put the bigger context into place. And then we just, bang, 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 knocked them out. So we never had an
Wow.
overall script to work from. We were just kind of trusting the Taylor and Brian to kind of steer us through all that.
Is it a lot different to shooting movies? Like you're in the Sniper series, I think you've done 5 of those. How different is it to doing this mocap and working with these guys compared to a real life shoot?
It's very different, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's incredibly different.
it's a new world.
It is, and it's fun, man, because it merges a lot of acting elements from TV, film, theater, and it kind of smashes them all together in a whole weird way. I think Barry Paul Sloan, who plays Captain Price, who did such an amazing job. I remember him kind of describing it as it's kind of like theater meets film, in the way that
Yeah, he said
you
that the
know,
other day. Yeah,
yeah, exactly, and I haven't found a better description of it, because
yeah.
it's like you're on a theater stage, and
Mm.
once you hear action, you got to go. Everybody's got to be word perfect. Everybody's got to know exactly what they need to do with their business, hit their marks, everything else. There is no editing between action and cut. It has to be kind of word perfect, and everything has to be really dialed in, which is why we had the rehearsal days. But also, you've got that cam on your helmet rig that's facing and taking those extreme close-ups of you, capturing every single micro expression, every flinch on your face, so that you've got that film close up, and then you've also got 75 cameras ringing the entire mocap stage. So that's kind of like the film coverage from every single angle while you did it. And we had a director with a steady cam following us through all of
Really?
our motions as
Wow.
well. So yeah, it was a really, really interesting process, and one that I really had a lot of fun with.
The Steadicam makes sense now because some of that grounded feel of the cutscenes. I wondered how they achieved that,
Yeah.
but I'm guessing it's through that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had a guy named Jeffrey Negus, who was kind of our first AD, and would work that Steadicam. He was just kind of weaving it around to get us those great angles and stuff like that as we did our scenes, just for an extra angle of the things. And a lot of those made, the final cut, and just to give it some more movement, some dynamic movement throughout it all. So it was really fun, man. Very, very different. And unlike a film where you can expect to be outdoors, on location filming, we were on a mocap stage using our imaginations to recreate Urzikstan or recreate Piccadilly Circus, that sort of stuff.
What do
So
they
it was
use
really
for
fun.
like a car? Like, because I've heard they just use cardboard boxes and things like that to
Oh,
recreate.
yeah, man, they get real creative with, basic hardware store things. They'll put a
Yeah.
PVC piping rig together, on a
Yeah.
platform to represent a chopper. And, they'll do crude kind of like doors that you come through and open up, and walls. They throw a lot of sandbags down, where it's just basically, that's a wall. Don't go beyond that sandbag or else you're through the wall. So it
Wow.
was really fun to play with.
Janine here says it's 3 a.m. in Western Australia. That's commitment. Hey.
What time is it on your end, Dan?
Here it's 6 a.m.
It's 6 a.m. Okay,
6 a.m.
gotcha.
here, yeah.
And
So just woken up. I'm all right.
Janine's a good friend, VG, and Rachel. They're all awesome friends I've made online and social media, and we all hang out on Twitch together and stuff as well. So
Are they
thanks for
regular
thanks for
viewers?
tuning in.
They're regular viewers, yeah.
Yep, regular viewers, good friends.
How are you finding the Twitch stuff? It's awesome to see you over there with a nice friendly community.
It's fun, man. And the pandemic, one of the great silver linings of this pandemic and the lockdown was being able to start Twitch streaming, and that really gave me a lot of love and appreciation for the game that we made. Because I'm
Yep.
a campaign guy, man. I've never messed around with multiplayer, certainly not Warzone. It was all very intimidating to me, but once, those are the perfect games to stream. And so when I started doing that, I really found an appreciation for, why players love this game, the interactivity, the way you can connect with people all around the world. And so streaming was a lot of fun, just being able to answer questions about playing this character, and them watching me struggle through the multiplayer maps at first, and then be terrible at Warzone. And we've all grown together, and we've all made a lot of friends, and they give me pointers on my loadouts and stuff like that. It's
Oh,
really,
that's good.
yeah, it's really fun, man. They've really helped me ramp it up a little bit more, so that I'm like a nice steady average player now.
Yeah, you think you think you've gotten better over time now? You think
I can
you?
confidently say that I'm an average player, Dan. I
So
won't
if
go
we
any farther
play,
than
we'll be
that.
able to get a few W's.
I mean, I'm not gonna help the cause, but I won't hurt it greatly either. Typically, where I stand, I know my
How
place.
many kills would you drop in a typical game?
Oh boy, those typical games can look a lot different one to another, depending how sweaty it is. Yeah, I mean, I'm probably good for 2 to 4 in a decent
Yeah,
game. If we go
that's
deep.
enough for
So
us to get it done.
yeah, I'm
That's
usually
enough, man.
I'm pretty good in the new gulag. I was terrible in the old gulag, but the new gulag, I'm actually my batting average is a lot higher for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, it's great to see you play because half your co-stars don't play. I know
Yeah.
half the people in the latest Call of Duty haven't played it either. They typically just go and watch the cutscenes, which is fine. But it's good to see that you're actually getting in there and
Oh, it's fun,
giving it a
man.
crack.
Yeah, me and Jeff Leach, who plays Ghost, plays, and he's a
He's pretty
streaming
good, isn't he?
monster. He's good, and he's a
Yeah.
streaming monster. His stream has gotten huge. He's wildly entertaining, so it's no surprise there. But yeah, he plays. I play, but I've been a gamer my whole life, man. So it was no big deal. And I don't typically always play first person shooters. I'm more of like a fantasy RPG guy, as you can imagine from our
Warcraft?
D&D talk. Warcraft, I played for like 14 years, 13 years,
Wow.
12 years. Yeah, I haven't played the new expansion, but I've always been a big Warcraft guy.
Wow, you're a
So
nerd, man. You're a
oh,
nerd.
I'm a big nerd.
you're,
Dude,
you are
I
in
stayed
the
up.
nerd group.
I stayed up till 3 in the morning last night, pushing hard to finish a fantasy novel that I'm like in love with right now.
What's
So
that called?
I've been reading every book that this guy Joe Abercrombie has ever written, and they're
Wow.
amazing. And so I'm on to his like third different series right now. But the First Law trilogy and this whole universe he created that went 8 books deep is just it's been occupying all my free time for the last 2 months, and I'm not mad about it.
So when you say fantasy, like Lord of the Rings style, or even more pushing the boundaries even further than that, like
Yeah. Well, I've read them all, man. I've read all The Witcher. I've read all of Game of Thrones.
yeah,
Uh,
Witcher, yeah,
yeah, I grew up on the Lord of the Rings books and the
yeah.
D&D books I was telling you about. So I don't care. You can sprinkle in magic and dragons in there if you want. I don't care if you keep it grounded to like swords and shields. Like either way, high fantasy, low fantasy doesn't matter to me as long as it's got that medieval flair to it. I'm just a humongous nerd for stuff like that.
So would you play a game like Witcher 3 or Skyrim, or are they just too big and expansive for
Uh,
you to?
I I actually went and downloaded all the old Witcher games, so I haven't been able to crack them open yet. I'm very very keen on playing Baldur's Gate 3, which is the new D&D game. So I'm ready to pull the trigger on that. I was kind of waiting for like Warzone and like Modern Warfare to like peter down and be like, okay, I think it's time to switch gears. We've ridden this train for a while, but it keeps sticking around and people still like love it and play it so much that I'm hesitant to switch gears and commit more time to like an RPG to start streaming. So we'll keep letting it ride.
Game of Thrones. What did you think of the final season?
I had no problems with it, man.
Yeah,
Honestly, here's the deal, man. I'm an actor, right? And I know that
yeah.
whether you're a director, producer, actor, writer, whatever, like no one sets out to make a bad anything, right?
No, no.
So I am not very critical when it comes to stuff like that, just because I know how effing hard and impossible. Although Game of Thrones had a massive budget, there really are no excuses for not making it the best you possibly can. But for me, it's like closure is good, even if people aren't happy with the outcomes or the endings. But also, I don't think George R. R. Martin stepped up and be like, here's how it ends. I haven't published the final book yet, but here's how
Yeah,
here's how it's going to be, honor that. And I think those guys would have honored that if it was provided to them. But I don't know what George R. R. Martin does. He cranks out a book once every 10 years. I'm like, what are you waiting for, man? Like you knew the end was coming on this massive series. Give him
what
some
does he
guidance.
do with his spare time? You reckon?
I don't know. He's been talking about this final Game of Thrones book coming out for years now, and I'm like, I know they're big,
I've
like
lost hope.
long books, but for real, like let's have it already, man. I'm ready for it.
You've read all the books?
Oh yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Are they true 10 out of 10 books? Amazing stuff, or because I
They're
haven't read them,
incredible.
I've only watched the show.
I mean, look, Game of Thrones is one of the best television shows, hands down. Maybe the best fantasy show for sure ever created. But the
Yeah.
books blow them out of the water. I mean,
Oh
they're
wow.
unbelievable. Like this world that George R. R. Martin built, how deep it is. I read the books and I would get called every Sunday when an episode of the TV show would air because they're like, hold on, what house are they in? They're the son of who? What's their claim to the Iron Throne? Like they'd come to me for like a glossary, encyclopedia mind. Like, let me run down the roster of House Targaryen versus House Stark versus, the Greyjoys, et cetera, et cetera. So they always come to me knowing I read the books because then you really have to
Uh,
learn the names and everything else. So yeah, it was fun to be a resource.
wow. How funny. So in terms of Modern Warfare, have you played through the campaign?
I have.
Yeah,
I
nice.
definitely have. Yeah. Not on
When it
like the
first came
veteran,
out, or did it take you a while?
not on the veteran difficulty or anything. Let me
Oh,
just be clear.
I reckon you could do it. Come on.
On the easiest mode because I really just wanted to get through it, and I was afraid that if I had it on a hard mode, I would just never get through it and see the ending. But yeah, I played through it when it first came out. Yeah.
And what'd you think when you first played through that? And because some missions we're playing as your character, Alex. How was that? Is that a surreal experience or?
It was, I mean, obviously, I filmed the cinematics, so those weren't shocking. It was nice to see the finished versions of it all. But the cool thing is like, it's first person. You're seeing through my eyes, so it wasn't too surreal, just because you're taking in everything in real time, like Alex does. So, but it
Yeah.
was cool, man. It was. I got to be honest, like. I got a little choked up and teary eyed when, there was like the Farah goodbye scene in the chemical factory, and he yes ma'ams and good lucks her and heads off through the corridor and is never seen again. So that was really a special moment for me, seeing that scene that we filmed
Yeah.
in real time on the game. So that was cool. That was the big payoff for me.
Was that your favorite scene?
It
I
was.
think that was the best scene that
Yeah,
you
it
were
was,
in.
hands down.
One of the best, anyway.
Hands down
That
it
was a
was.
very emotional scene.
It was. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Well, now it's confirmed that you're back though. Alex is alive.
He
Yeah,
is. He is.
we can
Yeah.
hear that from your mouth. That is confirmed.
Yeah. And it was a surprise to me, and again,
Oh, you
going
didn't
back.
know?
Well,
It
going
wasn't
back to
planned.
that theme of, they don't tell you stuff. They tell you what you need to know.
Oh
So,
my God!
and
Wow.
I played through the campaign like everyone else. We saw the factory go boom, boom, boom as they flew away in a chopper, and Alex was still inside of it. So you didn't know the fate of Alex at the end of the campaign. And so I got a surprise call um, in 2020, right around February, and then we went up in March and we did a photo shoot up in Utah for all the season 4 promos for Warzone, where that was Alex's big reveal that he was back. And he lost a leg. He's got a prosthetic leg now. And I went on stage and shot that cutscene with me and Ghost. And then I went up and did an amazing photo shoot with a bunch of former military guys at Tat Gas. And we played with all sorts of guns, weapons, outfits, a lot of the operator skins that they had for Alex. They had me in those, and the plate carriers and everything else, the shades and the headsets and all the real deal guns. And I was up there with Ronan Tulam, who does the Ronan skin, who's a
Yeah.
legendary soldier in his own right. So me and him did this shoot together for season 4
Wow.
up in Utah mountains, and it was just it was an awesome experience.
It's
And
cold
really,
up there.
it was cold. We were outdoors, 8 hours a day, and it was probably about 15 degrees. I don't know what Celsius that is
Yeah, I'm
for
not
you,
sure.
but
I'm not sure.
it's cold. It's below
Yeah.
below freezing for sure. So, but we had a blast, and I got to know those guys really well, and I got to know Tulam a little bit, and he's a legend. So, it was a lot of fun, and I was just excited to get that call because that meant Alex is back. And so long
Surely
as
you
you're,
were. What was your reaction when you got that call?
I was just excited, man.
Is it
I
like
had
Tom Cruise in that movie? Yeah,
no,
around the couch.
yeah, jumping on the couch and freaking out. No, it wasn't one of those. I was excited, but it was really cool to see that the audiences loved Alex, the gamers loved Alex, they loved the character. And so I had a feeling that, look, Activision, Infinity, they're not dumb, right? If there's a character that the gamers really gravitate to, like they're gonna keep them going, and they want to do that for the gamers and the fans and stuff. So I figured with the way that people responded to Alex and the feedback I was getting, they already had plans in place to keep him around, and this was all the long con, if you will, to
Yeah,
reveal
I think
Alex
they.
in
I
a
think
way.
they knew.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think they
I don't
knew.
think there's any accidents over there.
How about the leg, the prosthetic leg? How is that a aftermath of the building? Because I noticed he
Yeah.
had a deer's sniper rifle. If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, and that little cutscene for Warzone when they introduced him, that season 4 trailer, I kind of take out some hostiles that Ghost is wrestling with a sniper rifle, and then it's revealed that he has a prosthetic leg. So, there's a
Well, you
big
don't
gap.
really see. They don't zoom in on it or anything. It's
No,
a bit subtle.
it's just there, and then of
Yeah.
course it's in all the Alex skins you can get for multiplayer in Warzone. I just thought it was a really cool thing they did, man, because
Very cool.
there's so many armed servicemen and women, not just in the U.S. but around the world, who are amputees and
Yeah.
have prosthetics, and I just thought it was amazing to be able to represent those heroes in that way. So I was very, very excited, to be able to have that, put that out there for them.
It's amazing. I don't think we've ever had a Call of Duty character who was an amputee of some kind ever
Yeah, and it
from
really,
memory.
I mean, the gamers responded so well to it. The fans responded so well. I had a lot of, current and former military who went through that, or
Oh,
they
really?
are amputees
Wow.
now. They reached out. It was really cool, just exchanging messages with people like that who, really appreciated the effort, that Infinity Ward and Call of Duty put into to have them represented. So it was really, I thought something really cool, something very special.
No, definitely. And I wanted to ask you as well about Ghost, because a lot of people, there was a time period there where everyone thought Alex was Ghost.
Yeah.
You would have got those messages. You're
I'll tell you
like,
what, man, just being
yeah,
new to the whole world. Like I always knew Call of Duty was a massive game and massive franchise, and it had gamers all around the world playing it. But then I went into YouTube and I started to see that, like Ink Slasher or a few of these other great, content creators for Call of Duty, they're putting up videos just speculating that Alex could be Ghost, and they're getting a million views. And I'm like, this is a whole different kind of like rabid, following for this game. And I thought it was just
isn't it
amazing. I was
crazy?
blown away. But Alex was Ghost, and then Alex is supposed to be Soap, and then Alex is, I don't know, maybe Alex is Farah next. Like I have no idea. Like I
I
can't keep
think
up with it all. But I
the
think
current
it just
one
shows
is
the
Alex
passion.
is Roach.
Yeah, Roach. Yeah, Roach.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's
But the
just
funny
really
thing
cool.
is, you wouldn't know where they're going. They don't tell you anything until
I
it's
would
the
know.
day, do they?
I have no idea. And
They
it's
just
just
can't afford any leaks at all, can
no
they? Really?
leaks.
Yeah.
And it just shows such a great passion from the fans that
Yeah.
a video like that speculating for 10 minutes that a character could really be revealed as this character and getting a million views. It just shows how amazing, these gamers and these fans are and how much they really love it and how much they really care. So it was fun. It just it blew my mind at first, but now I find it wildly entertaining and a lot of fun.
Do you rock your skin in Warzone?
Oh yeah. How
Because
could I not?
Barry said he did.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
Barry's got it, man, for sure. Absolutely. No, I have all the Alex skins, and I just, I randomly assign them every match, so it just goes through all the ones that I've collected, and I rock a different Alex every time I drop in.
so you don't have them all yet?
I do have them all. Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, man. I how was it to shoot that final scene, that heroic ending scene?
With Farah, you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It was
Was that
amazing.
like, because I want to know how many takes would you typically do for each cutscene?
Um, I mean, it depends. There could be technical tweaks and adjustments. There could be, stuff that the animators who are watching it need to come in and fix and stuff like that. But we had a great cast, man, and I think they
Mm,
hired a really good cast of talented actors who brought their A game and brought out the best in each other. I know that a lot of the storylines are heavy. It's Modern Warfare. It ain't pretty, but
mm.
we had the best time. And when it was time to turn on the grim, serious stuff and get into the high stakes world of Modern Warfare, we brought it. But outside of that, it was a love fest, man. We had a blast, a lot of laughs. Claudia
Mm.
Demit played Farah, and I just thought she was absolutely incredible. She really, really is amazing, and she was an awesome scene partner. I thought she
She's
nailed it.
Australian, man. Come on.
She
What do you
what?
expect? She's Australian. What do you
She's
expect?
Australian. She definitely is, and has that humor and that sensibility. She's a
Uh,
hoot, man. She's a lovely person and very funny. We had a great time, and I filmed most of my stuff with Claudia.
yeah,
To the Alex and Farah storyline. So, we shot that, and it was cool just to see the reaction of the crew's face, Taylor's face. He just said that was magical, man, and everybody knew that like they
wow.
had something special there. It was really cool to see that visceral reaction and stuff like that. So that was fun. But we probably should, 5, 6 takes, something like that.
Yeah,
It was
okay.
cool. They didn't overshoot it, man. It's more about the prep and getting in all the gear and having that rehearsal day. But then once you're on set, we'll get it in 5, 6, 7 takes,
That's
depending on
right.
how
You've
many.
already rehearsed it, haven't you? So you're already pretty
Yeah,
much nailing it. Yeah.
yeah. But the talent, I can't speak enough about the whole cast. It's just super talented and really prepared, and you know, a lot of those actors really weren't familiar with guns or the military or anything. They hadn't done any movie like that, so but they were just eager. You can tell when someone's eager to learn. We had Navy SEAL consultants, and they were all, even if they didn't, you know, like Barry knew, he did a series like that. I'm pretty knowledgeable because of the sniper movies I do, but a lot of them had no idea, you know, what an AK was and how to hold it properly or
Really?
whatever. Yeah,
Wow.
so they really, but instead of just winging it and being lazy about it, they were very eager. They talked to the consultants. They wanted to get it right. You know, they cared about these characters, and they had passion for this game and this story. And that was just amazing to see, because you don't always get that on a set, you know, with an actor who doesn't know something. They could have an ego, and they could wing it, you know, and then the quality suffers. But that wasn't the case at all with our cast. There were gamers for sure.
100%. You mentioned that it's not a pretty game. What did you think of some of those confronting scenes, like the interrogation scene with the butcher and Farah's, you know, origin story? Some of those scenes.
Yeah, Farrah's origin story in particular was, I mean, that's just kind of crazy, right? That's just brutal. And just, you know, the child actors coming in and playing Farah and Hadir in the camp, the Russian camp, you know, prisoners. The torture scene where she's getting, you know, waterboarded basically and stuff like that. You know, I thought it was a brave choice. You know, they didn't pull any punches, and
No.
you know, I know it's
Oh,
easy
yeah.
to just, you know, pick up a game like this and run around, you know, cranking bullets everywhere and whatever else. But I thought it was really cool for them to do a campaign that reminded you, like, hey, you know, this is a video game and you're gonna have fun just, you know, putting a bunch of holes in people, but just remember, like, this is not a pretty thing. This is not a nice thing. This thing happens around the world all the time. It was nice to gotta have something to ground people in, and then let them go off and play and you know, put that out of their mind and just have fun shooting some guns and whatever else, you know, with no real consequence. So, but I thought it was cool. I thought a lot of
Did
that
you
stuff
see
was
the
powerful.
child actors there? Were you on set those days?
They had some younger kids come in and play,
Yeah.
Farah and Hadir, you know, and again, that was mostly to capture, you know, some of the
The
dialogue
movement.
and, you know, the emotional stuff.
Oh,
They didn't have the
okay.
kids running around with fake knives or anything like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I
Like
was gonna
all the
say.
stunt
Yeah.
performers do things like that, but they just got amazing talent, you know. Stefan, and I'm going to butcher his last name, Cupchick. Oh man, I'm sorry, Stefan, if you're watching. He came in and played Nikolai, which is, you know, kind of great comic relief, a wild card character. He was super
Yeah.
talented. Um, you know, Sergeant Griggs came on, and LaMonica Garrett did that. I mean, we just had an amazing cast. Deborah Wilson, Raya Kilstead, like, they're just amazing actors, and I think the campaign stands out as one of the best just because of the talent um, that they got for these roles.
Ghost Hunter says, Dan, can you ask him to say yes, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Ghost Hunter. Yes, ma'am. And
You
there it
switch
is,
it up.
folks.
You switch it on pretty easy.
The mustache-free yes, ma'am.
I forgot about the mustache, actually.
Yeah, yeah, that
Did you
wasn't
have to
mine.
grow that thing? No.
That was not mine, my friend. They were very generous to give me a handsome Tom Selleck Quigley Down Under stash. A little nod to Australia.
Collier says, are Alex and Farah romantic, do you think, Chad?
I've seen a lot of interesting fan art that
Yeah, so
assumes
am
that they
I.
are, but
Very interesting.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, they came together with a singular focus and vision to free her people and to end a conflict. So very little time for romance in there. I wouldn't say that something didn't light a spark, but you know, you never got to see peacetime with them. So it was not something that they could ever really explore, right? So I don't know. You know, I really I have no information to tell you. In different circumstances, maybe, but it was what it was, and I'm kind of glad that they didn't touch it that way.
Me too, actually. Me too. I have to mention the sequel. I know you can't say anything, or you might not even know much, but
Better to assume
what are
that.
your hopes for the sequel? I'll
It's
ask
better
that.
to assume that I know nothing, man. In true Game of Thrones fashion, I am Jon Snow. I know nothing, pretty much all the
Hey,
time.
he was in Call of Duty, Kid Harrington.
He did. He played the bad
Yeah,
guy in Infinity Warfare. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, in terms of a sequel, man, I really don't know. I think the pandemic really threw a lot of things off, obviously, for a lot of TV shows, films, video games, this, that, whatever. I think, I know a lot of players have complaints about, Cold War and Black Ops and whatever else, but I think what people don't understand, and maybe they just don't care because it still cost them $60, right? Those guys put out a video game during a worldwide pandemic. That's not easy to do. There was no actors going to mocap stages. They had none of that stuff at their ready. They're recording actors remotely. And it's like, how do you do that? How do you put scenes together? Like, that's hard work. So I applaud those guys just for getting a game out there mostly on time, just because these are crazy, unprecedented circumstances. And the last year of these games is the hardest year for everybody. So I don't know what's up next. I don't know when we'll come back to the fold. I just hope that we do eventually, and I hope that Alex is welcome back to the table, and the Task Force 141 table. So I really do hope that we can and do it sooner than later. It was an amazing experience. I'm really eager to strap back in as Alex for sure.
Is Alex a part of Task One? Is that confirmed or not?
I don't know. I
Yeah.
hear the term bandied out about. I mean, there was a trailer for Warzone that came out that kind of had the whole gang. I don't know if they're all in Task Force
That's
141.
right.
I'm not
Okay.
really sure.
Yeah, I'd probably presume you were,
I would hope he
but
makes the cut.
yeah, that's going to be an amazing game when that comes out. That's the thing. It technically it should come out in 2022.
Right.
So
The
technically
schedule,
you
yeah.
should be gearing up soon to start acting. There is a pandemic, and
I
because
welcome the
because
call.
you did the when did you shoot for Modern Warfare 2019? 2018?
Yeah, 2018 into
Yeah.
2019.
What date did you
Yeah.
start? Do you remember? What month?
I think I was doing my first like scans and stuff like that. June, July, maybe August.
Oh, okay.
Down
Okay.
at Blur Studios with Activision, and that was like I think 2000. Oh my God, 17 into 8. Nah, I don't know. I've lost track of the years, man. But I was a part of the project for like a year and a half before it finally dropped. So yeah, I guess you could say 2018. It came out at the end of 2019.
Yeah.
So about a year and a half total in there.
Yeah, so technically it should start this year, but fingers crossed. Um, and I'm also curious to see the chemistry between you and Ghost and Jeff. I think that'll be a cool dynamic as
That
well,
will be fun. That
especially
will
after
be
that
really fun.
cutscene. And you'll be doing more Warzone stuff as well, won't you, in the coming year? Because there's always stuff for that going on. Would you have done any? Have you done any recording for that at home or anything? No.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
yeah, that cutscene that wrapped up the season and the storyline of Verdansk, where
Yeah.
Captain
Yeah.
Price
Yeah.
disarms the bomb. I think
Yep.
I have like one or two lines, but we did that remotely. We got on a Zoom, and because it's all radio chatter, and talking in the
Just with your
headsets.
equipment, that was fine.
Yeah, so we just did it
Yeah.
over a Zoom with a mic I had here and whatever else. So
Oh,
unfortunately,
that's
I couldn't see my friends on the stage, but it was still
yeah.
cool to see the people at Infinity Ward and lay some more tracks down for Alex. And that's the other part. You mentioned at the beginning of the interview, there's that really great YouTube video of all the voiceover lines for
Oh man,
Alex in
that's
Warzone
exhausting.
multiplayer. Yeah,
I
so
feel for you, man.
so after we did all the actual filming process, the motion capture stuff, we would come in and we'd have massive spreadsheets on a television, and we would just take them
Wow.
line by line, dude, because it's all the battle chatter. You need to fill in the blanks with any possible scenario that you could find yourself in, whether you're under fire or you're
But
casually
imagine
talking.
being the audio guy
Yeah.
working on this
Oh,
game.
he was great, Dave. Yeah, he was awesome. Yeah, yeah. But
Far out.
it's a lot to wrangle, and
Ha-
that's the thing about video games. You have to cover every possibility. You want the players to stay immersed, so you have to cover every possibility during filming that a player could get
yeah.
up to. So that was a lot of fun, just doing the straight voiceover stuff.
But imagine the files, the number of files for each character under each folder, under each. It's just crazy.
I'm not interested in that, but God bless the people that are. Right?
There must be a lot of sound and audio for the final game, like
Yeah,
implementing. I'm
big
guessing.
time.
Did you ever meet any of the devs or anything?
Oh yeah, yeah. We went
Yeah.
to Infinity Ward headquarters, which is only a half mile away from where we filmed in the mocap stage. Joel Emsley, and oh my, I met so many. I mean, there's just
They're
unbelievable amounts
incredible.
of people on these teams, and I've forgotten more names than I can remember, but just incredible. We got the whole tour. We went through all the different departments, and we just saw the amazing stuff they were individually putting together. I mean, there's vehicle specialists, there's the gun specialists, there's the character development specialists. Like, they have different departments for all this. Like, no stone is left unturned, which is why the game looks so beautiful and amazing. The attention to details was just mind blowing. Going and meeting these talented artists and developers. So yeah, I got pretty friendly with a lot of them, and they were really, really
Oh, that's good.
gracious. Taking us around the headquarters and giving us the proper tour and stuff.
How many people do you think were in that building?
They had 2 floors of a massive corporate building.
Wow.
So I think you're talking about several
Hundreds.
several hundred just there. But then I know that they also outsource stuff here. They
Outsourced,
work
yeah.
with Blur Studios. Activision has their fingers in this as well, obviously. So I mean, it's just thousands of people at the end of the day that it takes to get these games. 3+ years, thousands of people. Probably 100 million, 150 million dollars just to make it
And they
physically.
make it back in the first 24 hours. It's
Well, they're
insane.
lucky, and that's the magic of Call of Duty, is that they do. But there's a lot of video games who crank a lot of money into these things that they don't get
Yeah.
that kind of return, and that's brutal. But to make a good game, a game that um, players are happy with, but is a critical success, a commercial success, it just looks beautiful. It takes money to do that, and
Oh, the game. I
it
was
didn't spare any
just
expense.
so happy that it turned out so well.
Yeah.
Just the attention to detail in that game, like some of the missions and the
Mhm.
level of detail that you wouldn't even half the people playing won't even pick up some of the
Right.
details. But that helps create the immersion.
Oh, big
It's
time.
just it's unbelievable. Even the sound on the headset playing through,
Yeah.
just crazy what they can do, isn't it?
It's I mean, yeah, Sarah Shachter, who did the sound, a guy named
Oh, what a
Steve, who was
soundtrack!
oh man,
What a soundtrack!
the
She's
sound department blew
phenomenal.
me away.
She
It
is a
couldn't be more
phenomenal talent.
impressed. The sound just blew me away in this game, and I
Ah,
just remember doing that scene where me and Farah are talking on a rooftop, and the sun is starting to set, and it's me and her, and we're passing a hand-rolled cigarette back and forth, and just like from the start of the scene to this finish of the scene, the way the sun and the lights and the angles just changed over that like 2-3 minutes, like that just blew my mind. These it was just felt so cinematic, truly cinematic, like a high-end film. And Blur Studios worked hand in hand with them, and Blur Studios, they're doing VFX for like Avengers movies, so they were really all in on making this one of the most beautiful games they ever made, and I think they hit the target for sure.
Axe Wielder says Sarah's pretty awesome. Her work on Infinite Warfare was out of this world.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's also done Assassin's Creed,
Mm-hmm.
Origins, and Valhalla. Which
Valhalla, yeah.
like everything she touches is
Right.
unbelievable. She's a real talent. Does Chad prefer the look of Alex in the campaign or the look in multiplayer Warzone? That's from Alexander.
I gotta be honest, that's one of the biggest. I wouldn't call it a gripe. We'll call it a request. We'll be more polite about it. People want that Alex campaign skin bad. They
They
want
do,
to be able
don't
to run
they?
around
They really do.
in multiplayer Warzone, and I was hoping that Infinity Ward, that the Activision would give it to him. It hasn't happened yet, but I hold out hope that they will. So I'm glad he's got new looks, different looks, and whatever else. But people really want that. I mean, they put together an amazing costume, for Alex in the campaign. His look was fantastic. I was blown away by it. So I understand why people would love to have that as part of their collection for multiplayer.
What do you love most about playing Warzone? Does it feel weird to hear your voice?
At this point, no. At first, it was a little weird because I was constantly getting myself killed, right? So you just see dead Alexes everywhere, all over the battlefield. And I'm like, that's a little morbid. But not anymore, man. It's really, I don't even pay any attention to it. In fact, because I stream so much, we've got, we're on Discord or the battle chat with my squad, so I don't always hear like the call outs and the stuff of my own voice.
Yeah, you're
So
more interested in the game, yeah.
it's all faded more into the background for me with that sort of stuff, but people are still, get a kick out of hearing me say things in real time and then hear like a voice line kick off as well on the side. So
Do,
It's
Do people realize it's you
fun.
when they come into the stream?
Yeah, I mean, I don't make any, secrets about it that I play this actor and that I'm streaming Warzone and stuff like that. But every once in a while I'll play with some friends and they'll bring a friend in and they don't know who I am. And they'll just be kind of like they'll think something's up. And then we kind of reveal it to them. So it's always a fun surprise for them and stuff like that. That are actually playing with Alex while they hear Alex talking in the game and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, most people have a pretty mild reaction to it. It's not like I'm Chris Hemsworth over here voicing Thor, and they're like, "Oh my God, it's the real Thor." So, but it's charming and it's really fun.
You watch you like the Marvel movies? Big
Oh yeah,
fan
man.
or?
I grew up on Marvel comics, so big time fan of all the MCU, as they say. So
So you
big time.
prefer MCU over DC? Because I'm a DC guy personally.
I mean, I like DC, and I've
Yeah,
always read DC as well, but Marvel was always,
yeah.
I grew up with Punisher, Wolverine, X-Men, Spider-Man, and
I
it's
did
just
see that
that.
photo of that
Yeah.
cosplay of Wolverine. I think you could play the next Wolverine. Uh,
I
tough
think
task.
I'm the
Hugh
poorest,
Jackman. Oof.
poorest Hugh Jackman ever, but for sure.
I mean, I feel sorry for whoever's got to take that off him because he is Wolverine, isn't he?
I'm still kind of upset that he didn't get an Oscar nomination for Logan because that was
They
unbelievable
don't care
performance.
about
I know they
about
don't.
us, do they? The Oscars. They just
No,
don't care about us comic book fans. Because I thought The Dark Knight deserved a nomination, for Best Picture.
they're just our ultimate revenge is just how successful these movies are and how many more keep coming out.
Yeah, exactly.
Who needs trinkets and trophies when you're seeing your childhood heroes on screen left and right all the time now, and that's the big win. And we're in a golden age of geek, my friend, and I couldn't be happier.
What movie are you looking forward to this year? For me, it's got to be June, I reckon.
What is it? June?
June.
I don't know what that is. What is
Dune.
this? Oh,
That's
Dune. Yeah,
Dune, yeah. Yeah.
Dune. I've read 3 of the Dune books recently, actually, so I actually look forward to seeing that. I don't know, man. I feel so disconnected from the real world in terms of TV and film that I haven't been. I've been playing D&D and Warzone way more than watching TV and film, and I know it's gone the reverse for a lot of people during the pandemic, just watching endless
Yeah.
TV and film. But I dove into video games, man, and D&D games. So
So you're not watching anything at the moment?
I don't think so. I'll probably give WandaVision a try. I just
Yeah.
finished The Mandalorian.
Oh,
Um,
that's a great show, yeah.
yeah, Mandalorian's good, but I watched The Boys. I watched. There's a bunch of other ones that I love. Umbrella Academy. These are all comics that I love as well. So I'm a nerd through and through in terms of my
You are a
content.
nerd. You
Yeah,
could be worse than me.
maybe we'll have to chat on the side and see what's going on. I'm gonna compare my action figure Funko collection to yours back there. And give
Yeah,
you.
I had a big collection of pop vinyls, and then I got rid of them, and now I'm back into it again. So
Yeah.
you got a few, don't you?
I think what's been really fun, and I'll actually do a little show and tell because it's within arm's reach. But Janine, who's in the chat here, she had this custom made because they didn't really do a lot of merchandise.
Oh,
You know?
nice.
They didn't
That's
do Alex
awesome.
merchandise, and we had a couple of like Lego creators kind of do some Echo
That's
3-1
awesome.
skins as well. So unfortunately, since Activision didn't put out kind of like a merchandise line, the fans have been absolutely incredible in creating their own for me. So it's really been a lot of fun to have a little collection
Yeah,
growing.
we
Of
need the Modern
Alex.
Warfare. We need the Task Force pop vinyl. I'll get all of them for sure.
I'll tell you what, I have heard that so many times that I actually emailed,
Oh,
Infinity Ward, and I'm like, hey, I'm just saying, like, if you guys put this out there, I'm pretty sure, you do well. And
oh yeah.
fortunately, I mean, when you're dealing with huge companies, Infinity Ward's just a developer, right? And they're the studio, but Activision is the owner, and they decide what they license and market and what they put out there and stuff like that. So. I think that they missed an opportunity because these
I do.
characters from Modern Warfare in particular resonated so much with fans and gamers that I don't think they were even ready for or expecting. But I was hoping they'd put some stuff out there for people to get, and but they haven't. But at least I got mine. I ain't mad about it.
That's awesome. How many do you have?
I've got two of the Lego things. I've got the Funko here. But there's been amazing art, dude,
Yeah.
and just like Rachel, who's in the chat, does amazing, hand drawn art, and she's done some really amazing pieces of Alex Echo 31. I mean, fans send me stuff all the time, whether they're doodles or really high end digital illustrations. It's been awesome, man. It's really been very flattering and very cool just to see how much Alex has resonated with so many of the Call of Duty players, and it's such a nice thing to wake up and see some kind of like original piece of art that somebody did because they
Oh
love the
yeah,
game.
it's flattering, isn't
It's
it?
so cool, man. So cool.
Never gets old. Ghost Hunter says, "Does Farah play Warzone? And if so, do you play together?" I don't think she does.
She doesn't, man. Yeah, I mean, me and Jeff are the only ones that I know that play. Really, in terms of like some of the main characters in the game, and it's these are not easy games to just like pick up and be good at, right? So I imagine if even if they tried, it'd be a very infuriating first two
That's the
hours
thing.
learning how to move.
I've
Yeah,
had 14 years experience. When you
right,
think about it, you don't. But I just the other day I was thinking, wow, I've been playing this series since
right.
2006 or whatever it was. So it's not. It's for
It's
people just starting.
Yeah,
Wouldn't be
man,
easy.
it's not easy to do. I mean, I've played video games in my entire life. I've played first person shooters before. I'm not the best at them, but I figured like, okay, how hard can it be? And I was just getting lit up, dude. Like it was like infuriating how I just could not even just stay alive for longer than 5 seconds. And I'm like, wow, you really got to put in the hours to be good at this game. And I think that's on one hand awesome, and on the other hand, like maybe a bit of a deterrent for people picking it up for the first time.
We've got plenty more questions here. If you don't, do you need
Fire
to be
away.
anywhere, mate? We're all good.
No, man, let's keep going.
Alexander says, I don't know if it's been asked, but Chad, what's your favorite operator that's not you?
Oh man. Gosh. Let's just hope that none of my co-stars are listening. I love what they did with the ghost skins. I just thought that was
Yeah.
incredible. Really, really cool stuff. Obviously, when Captain Price dropped, that was fantastic. He's the leader, and just with a cigar and like such a distinct personality. But I don't know. I'm gonna go with Farah. When they dropped Farah, I was most excited, just because I've got a special place
You got a
for
special
Claudia and
bond, yeah.
Farah. Since we had that experience filming together for so long. So seeing Farah run around the battlefield, and I think one of the coolest thing is really getting to know and get to hang and getting to play with a lot of the girl gamers. They
Yeah.
get griefed a lot, unfairly
Oh, yeah.
so in Call of Duty. I mean, people talk a lot of crap in Call of Duty in general, but it's nice to kind of elevate and support girl gamers. And I mean, there's Dahlia, some of them might be in the chat. They're unbelievable players, and it's really cool to see them running around with Farah and like the Alexandra Mara skins and stuff like that. I really think it's just cool for them to be represented and to have, something like that to play as.
Yeah, well, back in the day, there was no women operators or anything of that
Right.
nature. It was just,
Yeah.
you just had no choice. So
Mhm.
it's great to see some diversity now. My favorite probably Helen Park, besides yourself and go
Right.
and Captain Price. Um,
He needs to say that, everyone.
yeah, I need to say that
Gotta
because
say
he's
it.
here. James Spencer says, "Looking forward to. Are you looking forward to taking on the challenge of playing an amputee?"
I mean, yeah, I really, obviously, in real life, I'm very fortunate that I'm not, in real life. So, a lot of that stuff is added in digitally later,
Hmm.
of course. But I really look forward to, if we can get back into another Modern Warfare game, another campaign. Um, I really want to be able to talk to people, consultants, and see like, okay, what changes? How does my movement change? I want to be really conscious and really aware, and try to put that into the character a little bit more. Have a lot of great conversations with people who are living with that or have gone through it, and really see if I can't find unique, special ways to honor them, by infusing that into the character. So I think that'll be a really fun opportunity. Obviously, I didn't get to do very much. Um, I only shot the trailer where he stands up after sniping, and the trailer for Warzone season 4. So I haven't been able to really,
There's not
try that
much you
leg
could
on
do
for
there.
size
Yeah.
as an actor. So hopefully that opportunity comes around the corner.
Collier says it's 4:30 a.m. here, Mr. Allen, in my city. I've stayed up all night. Love your stuff. Good to see Chad here. Thanks so much, mate.
Thank you for staying up with
Uh,
us.
4:30 a.m. Wow,
Some dedication.
that is something I don't think I could do.
Sure you could.
Dan, you should make an Alex and Farrah romance video. Hmm.
Oh my. Oh my.
Oh, I know what I want to ask you. Sniper movies. Oh, I haven't seen them all, but talk me through that. What a life changing role that was to land that first movie.
In more ways than one, man.
Yeah.
I moved to LA, I was a journalism major. I was working doing public relations in the entertainment
Really?
industry. Yeah, acting came way secondary. I never acted a day in my life when I moved to LA.
Wow.
And, I just kind of fell into it because I was working in the industry, but I was very casual about it, and um, when this first sniper movie opportunity came up, I think it was like 2010. I was really grateful. I got to work with Billy Zane. I grew up
Mm.
watching the original Sniper movie when I was younger. Big fan of Tom Berenger's, obviously. So, 2010, next thing you know, I'm on a plane in South Africa running around playing a G.I. Joe type character. And that was the switch, man. Like from that point on, I was
You're
like,
hooked.
acting is something I'm going to go all in on and just see where it takes me. So it really truly was life changing in a lot of ways. And, it's insane to think about 10 years later, we've done 5 of these sniper
Wow.
films, and they just seem to get bigger and better and be more and more fun. And hopefully we got another one coming soon for
Yeah,
everybody.
it's still going. Yeah, there's still going to be more.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Wow. And it must be good as well, just quietly that you've got the recurring work. You know that like over the last 10 years anyway. It's good to know that
It's
there's
always
always
a,
another one.
it's always a
You know what I
welcome
mean?
call. Like, hey, you
Yeah.
available in the next 3 months to go and do a movie? Like, you bet I am. It's a nice thing. It's a rare thing for an actor to have something that they can kind of go back to. An actor's life is very up and down in terms of you're
Oh yeah.
literally living job to job, gig to gig, hand to mouth sometimes. So, Sniper's been very good for me, very good to me, in terms of coming back around every couple of years to have another Brandon Beckett role to play.
Are they do quite well commercially because it's they don't play in theaters, do they? They're direct
No, that's
VOD.
Sony's business model is really to keep the budget as low as possible,
Yep.
obviously, and really
What
if
are the
they
budgets usually? Sorry to cut you off.
they do a year. I don't ever know what the final budget is, but let's just say it's well below a Clint Eastwood movie, but it's well above a schlocky horror movie. So, um,
Like in the 5 mil range,
I mean, I would estimate lower. Um,
2 mil.
you're probably in the ballpark. Although,
Okay.
again, I'm not an accountant, so I don't know what the final number is. But
Yeah, yeah, no, no.
let's just say we really make the most of what little we have and make
Yeah,
them. We always try to make them feel a lot bigger than what they are. Not that critics always care. Critics judge every movie as if they have 50 to 100 million dollars, which is just makes me laugh. It's like they're judging our movie but against like American Sniper, and it's just like, I mean, one had
yeah, I
150
know
million
that.
dollars, one barely broke, 7 digits. It's just so
It
we.
makes a difference. It really does.
Oh God,
It
I
makes a
know
difference. You
the
can't
stuff you
deny it.
can do when you have more
Yeah.
money is incredible, and yeah. So hopefully we get to do more. But to answer your question, we're doing better and better domestically with every single movie. More and more people are aware of
Really?
the
Wow, that's
franchise in
great.
the U.S. But really, international is where these movies take off, and
Yeah.
I get shocked. I mean, like a Sniper movie from 3 or 4 years ago, I was getting blown up all year long, like number one in India, number one in Mexico, number one on like Netflix and whatever else. So they make the rounds all over the world, and people just seem to love them. So we really are appreciative of our international fans, and we love to see them do well in the States, but like really internationally is where people
Yeah.
fall in love with these movies, which is really cool.
Yeah, they're on Netflix in a bunch of
Hmm.
countries. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And I
yeah.
never know when or where. Usually
It's so
people just send me
confusing,
a
isn't it? Yeah,
screenshot. I was like, okay, cool. Like it's in the Philippines, check it out.
yeah, yeah. So there is another one coming. That's awesome.
That's the plan, is to keep going. I haven't heard anything otherwise. So we hopefully we'll have another one spinning up soon and out for everybody to enjoy.
Do you do your own stunts in that?
Almost all of them. Really as many as
Wow.
they'll let me do. The last one we did, Sniper Assassin's End, had some really great epic fight scenes. We did a lot of choreography work, training off to the side
Yeah.
while we were filming to get those right. Very complicated sequences, a little bit of MMA, a lot of martial arts stuff, stuff that involved weapons and everything else too. And of course the falls and um, you know, I was mostly taking punches in that movie. So that's, taking a punch as a stunt is actually harder to do than throwing a punch. So I had my work
Do you ever
work
get
cut out.
knocked, or are
Oh,
they
I've
pretty
been
good?
knocked. Oh, I've been knocked. Yeah,
Oh, really?
I've been knocked by some big, strong dudes for sure.
Ooh.
Yeah, I almost, in one of the sniper movies actually, I almost went down hard. I had a big stunt guy who, was supposed to be a left hook coming over the head, and I duck and then I work the body, as a counter. And he
Yeah.
came a little low with his hook and he caught me across the temple in my head. And this guy was probably 250 pounds. He's a big dude, nicest guy in the world. And you do stunts and some of them go wrong, no matter how much you practice. You could slip on something and you just mess your footwork up a little bit and people are getting hit in the face. And he caught me so hard. I was able to finish out the scene, but I was a little wobbly afterwards, and he was so apologetic. But I've had pool sticks broken over my back and missing the plate that's in my back and hit me flush across the
Ooh.
neck and head, and
Ooh.
it just happens. On a
Ouch.
long enough timeline, you're gonna have screw ups. You're gonna get punched in the face. You're gonna.
Battle wounds.
I've had my front tooth chipped on a stunt gone wrong on a TV show and had to get, part of my tooth replaced and, smashed in the face with the wrong end of a gun butt on accident by another actor. And I
Ooh.
still have a scar across my upper lip from that. Happy to keep my teeth on that one though. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, I love doing them. I love doing the physical stuff. I think it's great. I would never pass up opportunity to do my
No.
own fights and stunts, but we'll see as I get older. It's a young man's game, and
Well, I couldn't believe you were 40, man. I'm actually still in shock.
I
I know
appreciate
you love your essential oils, but like, what's the secret?
it.
What's the secret, man?
Honestly, I just don't even think of age, man. I really just
Obviously, you look
it just
30.
it doesn't it doesn't affect me. It doesn't occur to me. When I go to the doctor's office for an appointment, they ask for my age, and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I am that age. I don't know. I don't know. It just does not occur to me. I guess with age comes wisdom, and experience. But I've always had kind of like a childlike enthusiasm about life in general, so I just lean into that. But I don't know,
Yeah.
man. I keep my diet pretty tight. I don't have too many vices or bad habits. I try to stay in good shape so that if a film calls, I could be on that plane tomorrow, ready to rock. And it's just who I am and what I do. So I guess that all factors into it. But we'll see. We'll keep doing the stunts as long as we can and avoid the horrific injuries.
How did you get into those essential oils? Because my girlfriend is the same
Oh
as
yeah.
you, where all the toxins in the house got
Hmm.
removed and everything was replaced with natural stuff.
Oh yeah. No,
Um,
it's been
it's a
awesome, man.
cult. I
My
reckon it's a cult.
but the best kind.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
the best
possible,
kind.
right?
Yeah.
My sister-in-law actually is very, very much into them, and I've always appreciated them over the years. But she's very much, she has a family, she has young kids, my nephews and nieces, and so she was very keen to, like you said, you just get chemicals, as many toxins as you can eliminate, do it. Whether it's cleaning products
Yeah.
or this, that, whatever. So really, we talked a lot about it, and I just kind of found what was out there, and I was blown away. It's like I slipped out my laundry detergent, my toothpaste, everything is like slipped out for just plants, and that's if you can do that, that's the key to kind of to longevity,
I've
really.
done everything except toothpaste. You think I should switch?
I mean, I love it. I just used it this morning, man. I think you
Yeah.
should give it a try. Talk to your
Yeah, I
girl,
might
man.
have to.
Get some,
I
get
might
some,
have to.
get some on you.
Commander Kez says, "Sexy man." I think he's talking about me. Sorry,
Probably.
chat.
I wouldn't be.
uh, James says, "Tips on advice for surviving lockdown." Chad, how do you keep motivated and sane?
Um, I don't know, man. I'm pretty fortunate to live in LA, right? So I can go out for a hike, although they did temporarily close hiking trails, which made no sense to me. I can get outdoors, I can get the sunshine on me. Um, I don't know. I feel like if the lockdown taught us anything, it's just it taught us who we really are. It taught us, who are you? What are you into? What are you about? When we take the job away, when we take your free time away, when we force you to be with you and only you by yourself, no other people, what are the thoughts come up? What are you made of? What do you love? What's important to you when you have things taken away in your life? What do you really miss? And I think that was a really great time for self-reflection. I think that people could really, if they lost one job because of a pandemic, maybe they doubled down on becoming a full-time streamer or pursuing something they've always wanted to do because that option was taken away. And I've seen a lot of people do it. I saw a lot of people lose their jobs. They started turning to streaming, to content creating, just switching gears on a career path that they normally, if things were normal, they wouldn't probably never had the courage to do. There would be too many risks involved. So um,
Mm.
I don't know. In terms of staying sane, it's just I think you got to find out what makes you happiest. You got to go 110% lean into that hard. You got to follow your bliss. We're here to live this life and to be happy. And people need to stop drinking the Kool-Aid of like, this is what you should do and what do I want to do, and start asking those questions and really be brave enough to put one foot in front of the other and get there. And I think that if I can do it, anyone can, really, quite honestly. And I'm always like to lend an uplifting voice, to that, because I'm a kid from this town of 2,000 people, and now I'm an actor who's lucky enough to be in a Call of Duty game and sniper movies all around the world. And like I said, if anybody can do it, it's you can for sure, because it happened to me.
Great answer. Mars D says, "Can you ask chat to say meet your maker?"
Oh boy, we're getting into the battle chatter, the kills. I'll give you two. I'll give you meet your maker, and then I'll give you my favorite.
Ooh.
All right, meet your maker, and then my favorite is humble pie, asshole. Which is that one trigger. I learned that one triggers when someone shoots you, and then you actually shoot them back and kill them. And I'm
Yeah.
like, because I get shot a lot, so I hear humble pie, asshole a ton. If I'm lucky, because that means I actually won the firefight, which does not happen.
That's brilliant. VG says, "Dan, can you inform Chad I'll be making some art for him later?" Ooh.
Oh, VG, she's so lovely. She comes on streams. We played some games together. Yeah, dude, there's so many talented artists out there. It
It's
blows my mind.
crazy, isn't it?
Stuff they come up with. It's really, really cool.
Oh, I'll see a few more before I let you go, mate. Again, thank you so much for your time. I'd like to ask, I know you haven't been watching too many movies, but can you give us some of your favorites? Some of your favorite directors, actors?
Uh, yeah, that's easy. All-time favorite movie is Braveheart, followed closely by
Ooh.
Fight Club,
Oh,
uh,
yeah.
which I
Oh,
absolutely
yeah.
love.
I got to watch that in cinemas recently. That was
Oh,
awesome.
really? Oh, it's so
Yeah.
fun, man. I've just rewatched it myself, and it just holds up. Like it's just so. It's Fight Club is a message for our modern times about
Yeah.
consumerism, capitalism. It's a dark comedy, a satire, and it just holds up, man. I remember reading that book and be like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
But
Finch is a master.
what's that?
David Finch is a master,
He
isn't
is a master, but and Seven and Fight Club and that whole run he had, and he still
he?
does
Gone
amazing
Girl.
work. But yeah, but I love Braveheart. I love Fight Club. I obviously big fans of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Those movies. Battlestar Galactica, The Shield, Alias. Those are some of my favorite TV shows ever. Um,
Ooh.
I can't even name my favorite TV shows in a modern age because there's so many damn good ones. Like I really
Isn't there?
can't. I love Game of Thrones. Um, I just
Do you
I
ever
try
watch
to think
Breaking
of
Bad?
favorites. Oh, I love Breaking. Yeah, Breaking Bad's phenomenal.
Mm.
That's just one of the all-time best shows ever made, hands down. Period. But I love everything from Ozark to like I said, Umbrella Academy, The Boys.
Have you ever seen Band of Brothers?
Oh, dude, that's what actually got me into my first acting class.
Oh
Um,
wow.
I was watching Band of Brothers for like a second or third time because I love that series so much.
Oh yeah.
And it just kind of coincided with, me being in my mid 20s, and a talent manager had asked me if I'd ever taken an acting class. And they're like, you should, you've got an all-American look to you, do whatever. And I said, I don't think it's for me. And they're like, oh, well, you think on it and let me know. And I went home that night and finished like the Band of Brothers series that I was halfway through watching. And I said, you know what, it'd be really fun if I could just be an actor, even if I don't have any lines, but just like wear a World War II uniform, crawling through the mud, and like getting a paycheck for it. Like I think that'd just be a really fun experience. So I signed up for an acting class the next day, and the rest is kind of history, as they say. But I do love Band of Brothers for many reasons, that being one of them.
I just want to ask you as well personally. I'm curious to know, how do you go about getting a talent agent and a manager when you're first starting out? Like, because there's so many people that want to be an actor.
Yeah.
How do you go about doing that? Do you need to land, like, did you need to land that sniper role before you had the flow on effect, or did you have someone before then?
Yeah, I took a really unique path. I
Yeah.
worked as an assistant for a publicist, for years. We kind of naturally segued out into doing some talent management just because he had
Oh,
like
okay.
30 years in the business, and he had these long relationships, and a lot of people were asking us to represent them in that way for their acting careers. So we did, and we learned it together. Right around that same time, I started taking acting classes. So I came up through the business and understanding the
Mm,
business. I didn't come from a master's degree at NYU, Juilliard. I don't have a fancy, resume of stage experience like most traditional actors do. I
yeah.
came up through the business, and I learned, how to operate backwards from that to
Mm,
get opportunities for myself as an actor. And since the publicist started doing management and I worked for him, he naturally became my manager, and once
yeah.
we were able to kind of stick some roles and find some auditions, the bigger people were interested, agents and so on and so forth. So, but I think it's kind of a misnomer. It's the number one bit of advice I give for people starting out: be a star where you are. I don't care if you're, in Atlanta or Florida or, some, places in Australia. Like, go and find the productions there, go and build a community there, go and get experience and credits and stuff for your reel there before, making a huge leap with no experience and no contacts to like a place like LA, because it's brutal out here, man. It's 10,000
Oh,
times the competition, and the jobs get smaller and smaller and smaller. All the work's everywhere else. So wouldn't recommend coming here until you are firmly a star where you are. And I also think that, pushing for agents and managers so hard in this digital age, you don't need to do it. You can create
really?
content right now. You can pick up your phone literally and create a web series. You can give yourself a leg up. You're more in control of your career than ever, just because of how digitally connected we are.
It is true
People,
because I've been
yeah,
able to talk to all these amazing actors like yourself,
absolutely.
just contacting,
Yeah,
myself. I don't
and
need
you
a
couldn't do that.
middleman.
I mean, what were you going to do back in the day? You're going to mail a black and white headshot, through the mail, hope they opened the mail to find out about who you were. There was no email. Like, there was no
Yeah.
anything, you send a
Wow. You don't think
fax.
about that, do you?
But it
That's
is so
crazy.
accessible now. And so you don't need to rely on a manager or an agent as much as when you're getting started. It's more important to create your own stuff, get better, have
Yeah.
content that you've created, that you control, that no one can say no to, and get it out there and get it up there and build that way. And you do enough of that. I mean, everybody's heard success stories of YouTubers turned actors, turned celebrities, turned whatever, but they started with just simple videos, and just doing what they did. So
Do you
it's
think
possible.
it's paramount to have social media? Because I know there's some actors that don't go on it at all.
Yeah.
Do you think it's
Personally,
necessary?
personally, I love it. I just think
Yeah.
the way social media connects everybody, and for sure, like, there's good things about it and there's bad things about it. I use it personally mostly as a tool for my acting career.
Mm.
I really love to engage people about that sort of stuff. And I think it's an amazing tool if you use it for that reason. I know a lot of people just use it as a a freaking soundboard for anything they think and feel. And usually they don't think, they just feel and type and then maybe
Yeah.
regret it later. There's no thinking involved for a lot of
I think,
people.
yeah,
It's
someone comes to
unfortunate.
mind. Someone
What's
comes to
that?
mind when you say that.
What is it?
A specific person comes to mind when you say that.
Well, there's a lot of specific people, man, who just they don't think before they type, and it's cool. I mean, look, it's the Wild West, man. You can use the internet and social media any way you want, but I personally love it as a tool to stay connected to people. I just think the ability to engage with fans, with people who've played Call of Duty, with people who've watched sniper movies, and to have that two-way communication, I think it's amazing. I'm very
Mm.
grateful for the opportunity to get to learn who these people are. It just becomes a love fest. They not only watched a movie or played a video game you're in, but then they take the time to send you a message saying they enjoyed it. And I think that's really special. And I think that's always worth taking my time to say thank you for that. And I really love to be able to do it. And Twitch opens that up in a whole new real-time interactive way. And that's been a blast as well.
Two more for you, mate. Um, Gaming. Do you want to do more games outside of Call of Duty? Is it
Oh,
something you're going to
absolutely.
pursue, or you still want to do mainly movies?
Dude, I love video games. As we've talked about, I love playing them. I think Call of Duty was just a life-changing experience for me. I can't wait to do more Call of Duties, but I would love to do any other games. I just think they're super special. There's a bond that a player has with a character they're playing as in a video game, as opposed to watching an actor on screen completely disconnected from it. And I think that is so cool and so special, and it's like an honor as an actor to be able to breathe life into that character so the player can have that roller coaster of the feels, man, and take that ride with you. And I welcome more of those experiences. I hope I get to do more video games, and I'm kind of pushing harder in that arena to be able
You're
to do more.
auditioning, or you're
Yeah, I've had
looking for
quite a
more stuff?
few auditions. It's
Yeah.
um it's a different animal. It's like
Mm.
anything. It's a different set of relationships, a different set of contacts. There's an awareness of me out there because of Call of Duty. I'm grateful for that.
Mm.
But I am looking to bring some more of that fun stuff home, just because I love gaming so much. And I think
Yeah.
as an actor, if you can bring a love and a passion for something like that, it's only going to help you in your work and make you a better actor in that way. So I really hope more opportunities come down the road to be in more
100%.
games.
Now, we know you got a new sniper movie coming out soon, or you'll be working on that soon, and we know you probably start on Call of Duty. Now, is there any other projects that you've got going on that you can talk about, or?
None that I can say. I've got some interesting stuff in the works.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can say some more about a film. I'm actually heading off to do a project pretty soon here, which I'm very grateful for, because 2020 was rough on just about every actor in terms of
Yeah.
work. So I'm very grateful to have a gig to go off and do. And I've been putting a TV show together for the last 2 years, and I think we're pretty
Oh,
close to
wow.
getting to a finish line. So that's going to be a really exciting announcement for if and when we can say anything in the next couple of months.
Is that on a streaming service, you would predict, or?
We're still getting those details locked in as to where it'll
Okay.
live, where it'll play. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome, man. Well, do you have anything else that you wanted to say to the community? I know you're over on Twitch. How often do you stream at the moment? Every
Man,
other day?
I think, yeah, I mean, I really shoot from the hip, man. I really,
Yeah, yeah. No
I'm like,
real
I got 3 hours.
schedule.
I think I'll stream. And
Yeah.
luckily people show up still somehow. God bless them. But I'm not nearly as organized with the schedule and whatever, because my day to day is just so
Yeah. How
up
can you
and
with being
down.
an actor?
Yeah, and I've just, Twitch was just an opportunity for me to connect with gamers and fans in a whole different way. I think it's a lot of fun. So I've been very casual about it. But I usually get on a good week, like 2, 3 streams in. One of those streams I play with players only, and anybody who's a fan of the game, we come in and we squat up.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, I encourage people to
We'll have
come
to
and
connect
check this
and
out.
play at some point.
I would love to, man. I would love to, and just want to say a big thank you to you and your community. It's really fun to talk about my Modern Warfare experience because it was just such an amazing experience for me, and I love being able to share the joys and the highs and lows of being a gamer and playing Call of Duty, but I also love to be able to pull back the curtain and give you some behind the scenes stories and anecdotes and just tell you how these games are made. And I think that's always really cool for video game fans to learn how they're done, how they're made, how these things come together because they are massive undertakings, but
Oh
sometimes
yeah.
sometimes they're right on the money and you hit a home run like with Modern Warfare.
Oh, it's been an amazing chat, man. Thank you for taking the last hour or so and answering a bunch of questions. And we'll definitely have to have you back sooner rather than later.
I'm all about it, man. I'm all about it. Anytime, man. This is really, really wonderful. And hopefully the people in chat got a lot out of it.
Awesome, man. Well, I'll leave you to have a productive day, and I wish you all the best. We'll stay connected. We'll definitely play Warzone, or we'll get something going. And I wish you luck on your new project, and hopefully we can get some details on that
Thanks, my friend. And I
soon
wish
as
you luck
well.
on your new essential oil toothpaste, my friend. Let me know how that goes.
I will. I will.
We will we'll drop into the war zone soon, my friend. Get us some of those dubs, as the kids say.
That's it. Thank you, man. Take care.
All right,
Have a
Dan.
great day.
Okay, bye everybody.